Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we are talking about 2024 lifestyle and home resolutions. I think these are so important and they are definitely my resolutions. I hope they'll become yours, and I think if they do, they will change all of our lives. Designing your habits into your home is such a powerful feature of design, and it's definitely one that I am going to be incorporating into my life in 2024. I'm going to give you 3 examples of the way in which you can do this in your own home and in your own life. I actually read the James Clear Atomic Habits book, and this really inspired me to find a way to design in habits into my home and my life. The first habit is choosing a space in your home that you know you regularly go to and incorporating things in that space that you know you don't necessarily often do, or you forget to do, or you don't like to do. So for me, that's definitely my coffee station. I am there more times than I would like to be, and I want that to stay. I love the coffee area. It's the same area that I will have a hot drink, whether it's hot water or coffee, tea. It's also my naughty chocolate space. And so putting things into that area that I know I need to do is a great way to improve my kind of lifestyle, my daily habits. I now have my morning pills, my morning vitamins just by the kettle, and I also have a bottle or a jug, I should say, of water just by the kettle. I don't drink enough water and I always forget to take my pills. So that's a great way of designing in to my home things that I need to do. There's a second habit that I really want to make sure I stick to this year, which is, of course, and I'm sure many of you have the same issue as me, it's making sure you leave your phone at the door. Now, my kids are growing up, everyone seems to be adopting a telephone habit, and so what we really need to do is make sure the phones are left at the door. I have kind of designed in this habit that I want to take on of not using the phone in the house by putting these really beautiful bowls just by the door, just by the console by the door, so that we can make sure everybody has somewhere to drop in their phone and there's really no excuse for it. And I think once it's in there, it gives you this kind of mental understanding that, look, it's gone in the bowl and it's got to stay there. We got these beautiful Tom Raffield bowls that were gifted to us actually, and they've got this really lovely leather detail. So I love the fact that we've got those. It makes it even more enjoyable to drop in my phone, and hopefully it will stay there throughout the time I'm at home. The final thing that has been bothering me for some time at home is just the number of wires that we have in the house. Computer wires, telephone wires, chargers, just so many wires. There seem to be wires coming out of every single different space in the home. And what I really wanted to do was find a really beautiful solution for those wires. Now, I'd love to say, we can build them in, and of course you can build them into some areas, like bedside tables or drawers. But if you've already got, existing furniture, existing joinery, then you're not going to retrospectively necessarily build things in. And so just finding really beautiful solutions. I found a really lovely linen zipper holder where I've got, where I can now put in, it's big enough, sort of deep enough to have all of my wires for charging, for camera equipment. And that's where I put those wires. And then I might have another one just for all of my telephone wires. And each one of those will go in its own location. And I think just having something like that and buying into it, it's so quick to do. You can get so many things on Amazon or wherever you like, really, that having something that will accommodate the wires will give you so much more peace of mind. I love a tidy house, so this to me is really important. I am somebody that loves to go to the gym, and I've always wondered about how I could get my home to inspire my gym habit. Now, I go to the gym first thing in the morning. I love the ability to go before everybody's awake. And so for me, designing that particular habit into my living space means having gym wear accessible in the morning. So for you, that could mean pre-planning it the night before and having it somewhere where it's the first thing you see, but it's got to be one of the first things you see. So it might not be the first thing you literally see, but having it in that sequence routine of your morning is a really important way to make sure actually that inspires you to say, no matter how tired I am, no matter what time in the morning it is, it's right there, it's ready, I may as well go for it. And to be honest with you, there are days that you are going to be more inspired to go naturally anyway, but on the days that you aren't so inspired, and there are those days, it's great to have your gym wear somewhere where you're thinking, you know what, it's there, I've got to go, I might as well, everything's ready. So planning that into the design of your space, you might even choose, for example, to have it in a drawer that's closest to the first place you are in the morning. Just making sure you're always aware of what your habits are and making sure that you can design them into that plan and footprint of your home and your lifestyle. I don't know about you guys, but 2024 has made me realize that I am not going to continue looking at the little things and the big things that bother me at home. Home is somewhere we spend so much time. And I think, making sure you don't have those little irritations about the wallpaper that's peeling off, or, that chair that you don't really love that you've been meaning to get rid of for years but just haven't got round to. 2024 definitely for me is the year to say no more. My home is my happy space. I want to always be content here, and I'm going to make sure I take care of all those little snagging issues that are really just kind of nagging at me and irritating me. For me, it's this one sort of area that I've got an access panel and it's always forever peeling off. So I'm going to go to someone, sort out an alternative way to have that sort of, dealt with in terms of needing it to still be an access panel, but finding a way to redecorate that area so the wallpaper isn't always peeling off. My dining space, which is actually where I am, which I love, I'm desperate to refresh. So there's one side of it, which you guys can't see at the moment, it's the other side. It's absolutely fine, but it's not my favorite thing in the house. And because it's one of those center locations where I'm always there, I can see it all the time, I'm going to make a real effort to make that change this year. This is definitely a year to think about pre-planning to save to make larger changes in your home. I think by 2024, we've all realized that big changes in the home can be a real necessity to, enhancing the way that you live and your lifestyle in general. So, 2024, definitely, we're still at the beginning of this year. It's a great way to step back from your home and think, if there are any major changes that I would really have to make in my home, where would they be? And what is that in proportion to my level of comfort? You might want to change lots and lots of things at home, but there are going to be certain areas that, were you to change those areas, they would make a real impact on your daily life. And I think those areas are really worth considering at the beginning of the year, because essentially you can get to a place where you feel like this is going to be X amount, and I've got to have X amount of budget for that particular area. And so if you start at the beginning of 2024 in terms of a design plan, you can also start to, almost save for the budget of what that needs to be. And hopefully by the time you've designed it and you've worked out what the colors are going to be and the pieces of furniture you might need for it and what the rug might look like, by the time you've finished that whole design process, you've actually started to save an amount for really implementing those changes. And so I think this is a great time to look at the bigger changes that make the biggest impacts on your daily life. In my home, it's definitely the dining area, but also an area that I've got outside my house, because it's something that, of course, I walk into the home every single day and I don't love the way the outdoors look. So of course, as an interior designer, I've made lots of changes with regards to the house inside, but I think it's time to start looking at the outside of the house and working out, how would I want that to look? How much is it going to cost me? When can I actually implement that? And how can I start saving for that actual change to happen? I have watched so much online about romanticizing your life. And I remember seeing this kind of concept come up on, I think it was TikTok or Instagram and on Reels, and just thinking, I'm not so sure about this. And my husband said to me when we were, hosting a dinner party, and of course, there's a mad rush before the dinner party to get everything tidied and everything looking, perfect. And he said, gosh, wouldn't it be great to always have this dinner party? And I remembered that, reel or TikTok video I'd seen about romanticizing one's life. And for 2024, this is a definite concept that I think is so important. I didn't think so much of it, like I said, when I first watched this. and, you know, then watch many, many videos about it. But actually, if you are romanticizing your spaces and your life and adding in the flowers and adding in the throws and perfecting the chop on the cushions and making, you know, every little space and every little corner a dream corner for you, then actually what you end up doing is having a full home that's a dream space. You know, creating these little areas where they feel like, I don't know, a boutique home or a boutique spa. You know, you do start to improve your life, that step by step. And I think if 2024 is going to be a year for anything, it should be a year to romanticize your life, to make those changes that you would make if you were having guests over, to really enhance everything about the way that you live. You know, make it beautiful for you, because, you know, we gain so much mentally and physically, I think, from an aesthetic, beautiful, comfortable home. So, you know, go all out this year, romanticize your life, make yourself an impeccable home, and enjoy every moment of it. Thank you so much for watching this YouTube video. If you have not subscribed, I know everyone says this, but I have loved making these videos and I feel we have such a beautiful following. I love you guys. We have had so much support from you. This is the start of a new year. I'm gonna make so much effort with YouTube and try and give you the best of what I've got this year, and I would be so happy for your support. I know there are some people who watch who don't necessarily subscribe. If you haven't, then please do. I would be so grateful, and hopefully I will see you soon.